All right, you guys, it's time to get excited. Oh, wait, that's just me. My team's actually doing well for once. We cracked the top 1K, guys. Give myself a pat on the back. 954 is our ranking right now. So, been lucky enough that since round one, we're ranked to 12,000 to have improved every single week from there. And to have a pretty solid game with a weird Sunday. It probably wasn't as bad for me as it was for other people, but I did make a mistake this week. I probably with Stefano, he has been scoring a little bit better, but when Harris went down injured, I decided just to switch him with Stefano there and play him. And probably what I should have done, obviously it's a little bit more hindsight, but he's someone that I probably should have put in the 5 position, which I decided to have him in the starting side instead. And for someone that I didn't think had, he doesn't have a lot of upside. You're probably really happy if he gets 40, but there's a chance he gets a 30 odd, and of course he gets 24 as a worst option. But with that, I ended up playing him instead of having Walker as like a floater. So I had Stefano as a starter. I had Walker in the number 5 position, which then he ended up scoring 67. So it was like, okay, I've got a loop. But the only chance I had then to loop was Welch, which at the time I was pretty annoyed about. And I was like, oh, I've probably wasted myself like at a minimum 20 odd points. And that's kind of how it worked out. I lost out on 22 points, which I could have had in the squad, but and picked up over 1,000, which I got 997. But still, I'm not complaining. I still had a great week, and obviously a round rank of 3,586 was pretty solid. So let's run through that team, and Brayley up top obviously was nice and solid, but obviously didn't play Welch, so it was Alvaro, Watson, and Stefano up there in the midsection. Hopefully Harris comes back. It was obviously nice to pick him up last week and get an 80 odd, and then he has his head knock, and he should be okay, but we'll see what happens there. But Crichton and Fafita nice and solid, and then obviously Fogs this week came back with a much better game, and same with Manu. And the cool thing with my team at the moment is I've got a few of these guys that are pretty inconsistent. Like you'd say Manu, well, after he's 13, that's a very inconsistent score. Fogarty's been up and down in 30s, between 30 and 60. Rogers kind of the same, around that 30 to like a high 60s kind of score, and Opacek had his best score of the year kind of thing. So there's a few guys in there that, like, if they don't score well one week, the other guys would kind of cover it. And then same with this week with Fogs, Manu scoring really well, but then Roger not doing as well. So I think that's kind of what's been really good with my squad at the moment is we're basing it all just off averages, not a week to week thing. And I think that you've got to work that out in your side and sort out how you're going to obviously build the most money with these cash cows. And the majority of my guys are still making money or starting to peak out a little bit. Walker and Simpkin you got in there as making heavy cash. Schuster was in there to do that. Watson, all these types of guys are doing well in that sense. And my centers are fairly well settled. For example, I've been able to build a fairly well-rounded squad, and that's what's helping with staying fairly consistent each week, not getting ridiculous outlandish scores by taking a lot of risks. It's just building guys that I think are really consistent and can do a really good job for me over the next bunch of weeks, and then we'll do that again for the Origin period. For guys that I think will be fairly consistent in terms of their averages over that period, and we'll go from there as well. But so Oppo is 63, Fogs is 65. And having Cleary as captain is always going to be a winner at this stage. He's been incredible. But Oppo's 63. When Eels are playing well, I think he's starting to work into the team a little bit more confidence, and they're using him a lot more, which is good for his scoring. And I'm still not sure if he's a keeper, averaging 41 for the year. I'd like to see him do it for a lot longer before I decide if he just stays in the team long term. But someone who plays round 13 is going to be a really cool option for anyone's side at this stage. Obviously got him and Jack Bird around that similar price now. Joey 58. I think he really benefited from Teddy being out. So, if Teddy's out for another week, then maybe Joey plays fullback again and he can score even better as well. But nice to pick up his highest score of the year and go from there. But picked up Hampton for Tessie New, and that turned out to be a solid trade because I just needed the cover for the wing fullback position with Pap out. And Hampton's going to cover now the centre and the wing fullback when Pap comes back, and let's hope for no other injuries across this team list period. But Hampton, Laurie, and Tuivasa wasn't incredible at the back, but I'm glad Hampton came in and picked up 49 for me. Made it really safe there. But on the interchange there, Terps, Schuster, Walker, and Simpkin, I'll take that. as my four scoring players there. Obviously, Stefano is in the starting side instead of Tohu, and I played Alvaro over Welsh, unfortunately, in the end, based on that loop. But yeah, Spencer's in there. The question is right now, who am I looking to trade out? And it's really only Turpin that's on the chopping block. And I've got 55k in the bank, and I was having a look, and there's not a lot of guys that you'd really want to target. Like I could probably pick up an Adam Dewey or something like that, but still, could wait another week or two with him. And Turpin, we're probably worried about. We don't want to be able to wait too long for him. If he's going to be playing 40 to 50 minutes, it's a little bit of an issue with his scoring. So, all in all, I'm really happy with how the team's going. Obviously, being in the top 1K is your team's going to be looking fairly okay. If you look at all the top sort of 100, 200 ranked teams, I think a lot of them are up near like 13 mil in value. And I saw one on Facebook just before that he's literally used max trades every week, and he's used 2 more this week to, the team looks great. But with 20 trades left going into round 8, probably going to have like 12 left going into the buys, and he'll be all out by round 16 or maybe round 17 will be the last 4. And then we just absolutely bypass those types of players. So, it's obviously slightly important that you're not trading every week. And I've kind of had to make my team go pretty well, but I've still been able to bank 3, and that's going to be so valuable. Hopefully this week again, I don't have to make any more than maybe 1 trade max, and that'd be nice coming into the next few weeks, because if you're wanting to win this league, if you're wanting to do well in your league or overall, you've got to be able to trade pretty heavy through the buy rounds. And if you're using all those trades now, you can't do that. So there you go, guys. That's the thoughts around my team at this stage. I hope that helps you guys around your team makeup, the types of players you want to be looking at. Who you're looking at that average, not a week to week thing. Are these guys consistent scorers? Are they going to be there week in week out, or are they going to miss some games through suspension? Are they that type of player where they could do that? Obviously, some of the head knock stuff you can't do too much about. Like that's the only reason Pat hurt his shoulder, is because he was like knocked out when he hit the ground. So picking up consistent players, guys are looking to play round 13 and going for your really good cash cows along the way, because then you're not sitting with guys like Simonson and who else we got in there? We're pretty unlucky with like Lustig, but these types of guys that we're only going to do okay, you just sit there and they're not making you cash, and your squad just sits in a bit of a standstill as to building and scoring well, etc. So that's the thoughts on my team currently. We move on to the alternates, and they had a slightly better week than last week with a round rank of 8,384. Overall rank is 6,000 after being 6.5k last week. Have banked 1 extra trade, and I have 105k remaining. And this team had a little bit of an issue with guys like Teddy, for example, but really happy with, Moses did okay. Could have done a lot better, but still 50's fine. But Rapana and Averillo in our centers is really strong, 68 and 48. Got to use Walker in the loop again. I wasn't sure if he was going to play a good game, and obviously he did. So lucky I could still use the loop with Pat for Walker. McCulloch with one of his lowest scores, but Simpkin and Brayley, you're happy with those guys. The main kind of issue here is playing Twal, who got a bunch of less points than he normally would, and Turpin and Stefano there. But all in all, the team's looking okay. I brought in Curran, and I was going to play him at this over Walker, thinking he'd get a 40 odd or 50, and had his really strange sin-binable offense, and he might be out for a couple of weeks. Surely not. Surely they fight that and go, look, I've just tackled him and we've headbutted, and anyway. He made a bit of cash for us, and hopefully he's someone that can keep his spot and do really well over the next bunch of weeks. But that's the alternates at the moment. Where do you guys think I should be improving from here? Having Fafita as captain was really cool, which helped us get a decent rank for the week and about 955 points. So a few things we can look at trading. I'll be holding 12 for sure. Turpin's one we got to think about. Obviously, how long am I holding Mom and Pap? With Mom being just 2 weeks away, I'd definitely be holding him. Pap, there's a chance that he could be out another 2 to 3 more weeks, and that would be 4 weeks, and then all the Origin as well. So, a tough one to think about there. But happy that I've got Moses in there now. I'm feeling more confident there. Rapana's doing well, scoring tries. Averillo, I'm really happy holding. I obviously don't have any cover right now, so if any of those, if Teddy's out for a week, that could be an issue there, and I might have to bring in someone else on that. Could be just an easy swap, bringing Walsh in or something like that. So, that's the theory and the thoughts about the teams at the moment. I'm obviously really happy with my team doing well, and And this what shows, as I said, the alternates. The other way you could have gone. They started a lot better than my team, and you're like, oh yeah, should have went that way, blah 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 blah. But your gut feel at the start is always what ends up working better. And I imagine now that's pretty well set up in the ranked 950. I doubt that this alternates team will get close to it going forward. Especially obviously missing out on Cleary is a big one, and he's priced at 1.14 million. But it just shows what can happen if you know you go with your gut, and it's usually going to work out. And think about that with your trades too. Using your head is obviously going to be smart, and I was trying to do that in that first team. I got one or two things wrong, but it eventually works itself out. So there you go, guys. That's the two teams. I hope you like this one. Please hit like, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and we'll see you in the next bunch when we give some good options on our cash cows and some of the keepers you might want to be looking to target in round 8. So there you go, guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you later.